Hello students, I am Sudha, physics lecturer working at Vishwamanava PU College, Sibara, Chitradurga. So welcome to the classes. So in this session, let us discuss about the ray optics. In the last class, we discussed about the refraction of light. So in that refraction of light, we discussed the laws of refraction and atmospheric refraction and normal refraction, and we also discussed the lateral shift and normal shift. So today in this class, let us take the continuation part of the ray optics. So in that, first let us discuss about the total internal reflection. So total internal reflection, the name itself represents total. So what is that total? In the beginning only I explained that when the light incident on any surface, part of the light is refracted, part of the light is reflected, and part of the light is transmitted. So but here there is no transmission or anything, the whole light is reflected, that's why it is total. Internal means inside, total internal reflection. So here, so this is a denser medium and this is a rarer medium. So here, just imagine the case, here the light traveling from denser medium to rarer medium. So as we know that, so here light is incident at this position, this is a normal ray, this is angle of incidence. The light is incident at a point, this point, at an angle of incidence I. We know the condition when the light travels from denser to rarer medium. When the light travels from denser to rarer medium, this angle of reflection is greater than the angle of incidence. Angle of reflection is greater than angle of incidence, and the refracted ray bends away from the normal. See, you can observe here R is greater than I. R is greater than I, and this refracted ray bends away from the normal. Normal it's bends away from the normal. So next goes on increasing the angle of incidence. As I increases, angle of incidence increases, this angle of refraction also increases. This angle of refraction increases. See here, so the light ray is here. By increasing this one, so just imagine here it is nearly about 60 degree, next 70 degree, next 80 degree, next come to the position 90 degree. So when I increases, R also increases and reaches the maximum value, that is R is equal to 90 degree. So here R is 90. In this case, when the refraction is 90 degree, so there is a particular name for angle of incidence. That particular name is a critical angle. So now we can say this angle of incidence is equal to critical. Critical means that is the minimum value. That is the minimum value of angle of incidence for which we are going to get the refraction is 90 degree. We are going to get the refraction is 90 degree. So that value we called as a critical angle. Simply we can say whenever the R is 90 degree, so I is equal to critical angle. See, as I increases, R also increases and reaches a maximum value, that's equal to 90 degree. When R becomes 90 degree, so there is a particular name for this angle of incidence, and that is a critical angle. So here I is equal to critical angle, then R is equal to 90 degree. See, 60 to 70, 80, 90, 90 agala, motta I jasti madi. So R 90 ina jasti agbektade. So instead of refraction, it is going to get a reflection. See, ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು ಲೈಟ್ ರೇ. So that when I is greater than C, when I is equal to I C ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ R is 90 ಇತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಲೈಟ್ ರೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಐನ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು? So instead of refraction, we are going to get a reflection. See, your reflection takes place. What type of reflection takes place? whatever the light is incident at this point, the whole light is reflected back into the same medium. That's why it is called total. Internal means inside the denser medium it takes place. Inside the denser medium it takes place. That's why the name is total internal reflection. So once again I will explain. When the light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, we know that R is greater than I, angle of refraction is greater than I, angle of incidence, and the refracted ray bends away from the normal and goes on increasing the angle of incidence. I na innu ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. As I increases, R also increases and reaches a maximum value that R is equal to 90 degree. So then, when R is equal to 90 degree, that angle of incidence, there is a particular name, that name we called as an angle of incidence, critical angle. When R is 90 degree, incident angle we called as a critical angle. That incident angle is called critical angle. So when I is equal to IC, R is equal to 90. Goes on increasing the IC again. Angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. Innu ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So light ray ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೀಗೆ increase reaches maximum value. So now the case is instead of refraction, it going to get a reflection. So here the whole light is reflected back into the same medium. But illéನಾಗಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. So ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. When I is greater than IC ಇಲ್ಲ. So ಅವಾಗ partial reflection and partial refraction takes place. Reflection ಆಗಿದೆ, refraction ಆಗಿದೆ. So but in the last case, only when I is greater than IC, the whole light ray is reflected back into the same medium. That is we called as a total internal reflection. So now the question arises, what is the condition for total internal reflection? So there are two conditions for this total internal reflection. One is the light ray must travel from denser to rarer medium. So illinda allige hogbeku. The light ray must travel from denser to rarer. So this is the first condition. Conditions for TIR, total internal reflection. Conditions for total internal reflection. So first condition is the light ray should travel from denser medium to rarer medium. The light ray should travel from denser medium to rarer medium, and angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. Angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. So this is second case. So during these two conditions, nothing but at these two minimum conditions, we are going to get a total internal reflection. So first one is the light ray should travel from denser medium to rarer medium, and the next one is the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. So when applying these two conditions only, the total internal reflection is possible. So one is denser to rarer medium, and another one is angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. Okay, next let us discuss about the relation between refractive index and critical angle. Relation between refractive index and critical angle. So what is this critical angle? Critical angle means this is the angle of incidence in which medium? Denser medium. This is the angle of incidence in denser medium for which refraction is 90 degree. For which refraction is 90 degree. That is called as a critical angle. So define the critical angle for pair of media. ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ question ನಿಮಗೆ 1 mark ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Pair of media means we have to consider two mediums. One is rarer medium and another one is a denser medium. So now let us derive the relation between critical angle and refractive index. See, this is a denser medium of refractive index N1. This is a rarer medium of refractive index N2. Here the light travels from denser to rarer medium. So by Snell's law, sin I by sin R is equal to N2 by N1. So here rarer medium and denser medium. We know that this angle of incidence I is equal to IC, and by applying R is equal to 90 degree. See, sin IC by sin 90 is equal to refractive index of rarer medium. So assume this is a air medium. The refractive index of air is 1. What type of medium? This is an air medium of refractive index 1. So it is 1. So assume denser medium of any optical density N. 1 by N. Then sin 90 is equal to 1. Therefore, sin IC is equal to 1 by N. Sin IC is equal to 1 by N. Or you can write N is equal to 1 by sin IC. Sin IC is equal to 1 by N, or N is equal to 1 by sin IC. So this is the relation between critical angle and refractive index. So we can write like this also. What is this? Refractive index of N2 means rarer medium, and it is refractive index of denser medium. Already we have problems only. Calculate the critical angle and ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 2 medium ಎಂದು refractive index ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. So in such cases refractive index of rarer first ಬರಿಬೇಕು, refractive index of denser second ಬರಿಬೇಕು. Then by this we can write sin IC is equal to n to 1. This is equal to n to 1. Or sin IC is equal to refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. So already we know that refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 means this is equal to n2 by n1. And we know that refractive index of medium 1 and with respect to medium 2 this is equal to n1 by n2. n1 by n2. So now we can write this n21 is equal to 1 divided by n12. Can we write like this? n12 means it is n1 by n2. Again it goes to numerator. So we can write like this. Refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 is equal to 1 divided by refractive index of 1 with respect to 2. Nothing but sin IC is also equal to 1 divided by sin 1. So little bit confusion, this one n12, n21, but commonly ಕಲ್ತ್ರೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. refractive index of 2 first 2 ನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ 1 ನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 n2 by n1. 1 with respect to 2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 divided by 2. So this is about critical angle and refractive index. So next let us discuss about the refractive index and critical angle. We derived the relation between refractive index and critical angle. Now let us discuss the refractive index of a medium and critical angle. So here the medium is water. So already we know that the refractive index of air is 1. Similarly, the refractive index of water is 4 by 3, that is 1.33, and that for critical angle, that is sin C, n is equal to 1 by sin C, it is 48.75 degree. And for there are two types of glass, one is a crown glass and another one is a flint glass. For crown glass it is 1.52 refractive index, and that of critical angle is 41.14 degree. For flint glass it is 1.62 refractive index, and that of critical angle is 37.31 degree. For diamond refractive index is 2.42 and that of critical angle is 24.41 degree. So this table is very important for competitive examination. because in that the NEET exam or JEE or CET, they will not give the logbook or anything. So by standard values, like they will give the angle. So for that angle, we have to write the critical angle standard value. So for 1.33, we have to write the critical angle. If we know the value of critical angles, then only we can solve the numericals. For such purpose, we need this table, very, very important. And many of the problems, they will give diamond as an example. So critical angle for diamond is 24.41 degree, and for refractive index is, it has a high refractive index, high optical density, that is 2.42, and its critical angle is 21.41 degree. So near is another. Okay, so this is about relation between the refractive index and the critical angle for different mediums. Okay, next let us discuss about the applications of total internal reflection. So one is a mirage. So somebody will pronounce it as a mirage. So mirage means it is an optical illusion. So optical illusion of light. It takes place due to total internal reflection. It is an ಬೆಳಕು ನೆರಳಿನ ಆಟ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. It is an optical illusion of light due to total internal reflection takes place on the surface of the earth at different layers of the atmosphere. So ಅರ್ಥಿನ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ದು. ಆ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಮಿರೇಜ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕಲ್ illusion of light. It takes place due to total internal reflection on the different layers of the atmosphere of different density. So how it takes place? See here. So this is a uniform temperature. So now we need to be at the surface at uniform temperature. No change in temperature. So this is an object. So there is a, if uniform temperature is there, refractive index, optical density is also constant. No change in optical density. Optical density change ಆದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೇರರ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡೆನ್ಸರ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೇರರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೆನ್ಸರ್, and the light travels from denser to rarer. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗೇನೆ angle of incidence greater than critical angle ಇದ್ರೆ total internal reflection ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. But here we won't get any total internal reflection because the refractive index is constant and temperature is uniform. That's why light rays ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸೇಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. No change, bending change ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. But when come to the surface of the desert, ಮರಳುಗಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, surface of the desert, so ಅರ್ಥ ಕಾದಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, very high temperature when compared to upper side. ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅರ್ತ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾದಿರುತ್ತೆ. therefore it has a very high temperature. The air near the surface of the desert is a warm air. The air above this warm air is a cooler air. ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಲಿಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಬಿಸಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. It is a warm air. Temperature is maximum and its optical density is very less. Optical density ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದೆ. So as we go upward, we are going to get a cool air, but temperature is very less when compared to the warm air. So this warm air is a less dense. Optical density ಕಮ್ಮಿ, less dense when compared to the cool air. So here refractive index optical density is more when compared to this. So just ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಲೇಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. So as a result, light from the tall object such as trees, the light from the tall object such as a tree passes through the medium. See, passes through the medium of this lower refractive index. So ಈ ರೀತಿ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. So when it enters the lower refractive index, then it bends towards the normal. It bends towards the ground. Nothing but ground ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So thus light from such an object bends away from the normal and undergoes total internal reflection. So this is the two reason. ಏನ್ ನಾವು 2 ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. One is cool air and another one is warm air. So warm air is less dense, density ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, temperature ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. When we go upward, it is a cool air. So for this cool air, temperature is less compared to warm air, and it is a high refractive index, high density, optical density medium. So when due to this, light from the tall object like trees, light from the tall object like trees passes through the medium of lower refractive index. When of lower refractive index, it bends towards the ground and bends away from the normal, and it suffers total internal reflection. Due to this, ಎಲ್ಲಿ object ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅದರ inverted image form ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So this also we can expect and we can observe on the surface of water also. Surface of water ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ತರ same type of mirage form ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So this is an optical illusion. So this is one application of the total internal reflection. So let us discuss one more application. Second one, that is brilliance of diamond. Brilliance of. So as already I told that, I explained, it has a high refractive index. The refractive index of diamond is 2.42, and its critical angle is, it has a least very less critical angle 24.41 degree. So due to this, a properly cut diamond. So now we take the diamond piece like this. There is no total internal reflection. We have to cut this diamond piece in a proper shape. So when a properly cut diamond, so like this, just imagine we cut the diamond like this. When the light enters the diamond at one face, it suffers reflection. Again it suffers reflection. Again it suffers reflection. Due to this multiple reflection after the light coming outside with a brilliance, shining, maximum shining irutte. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಶೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ಸ್ ಡೈಮಂಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದಿ ಡೈಮಂಡ್ ಸೀರೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್, ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಡೈಮಂಡ್ ಶೈನ್ಸ್. So this is also application of the total internal reflection. And the third one, air bubble. Air bubble inside water or inside oil. Air bubble inside water or inside oil. So take one full bottle, full beaker water ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. Full it contain only one drop ಮಾತ್ರ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So this bottle containing water, it is fully filled up. So only one drop is empty. One drop ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, air gap ನ form ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So when we move tilt like this, that air gap will move upward and downward. When the light fall on that air bubble, when the air bubble light fall on that air bubble shines. That is due to total internal reflection. Similarly, the empty test tubes. So that is you are using in chemistry laboratory. This empty test tubes also shines because due to total internal reflection. See, when the light enters like this, it's a forced reflection. So light travels from denser to rarer medium. So light travels from denser to rarer medium, and when the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, total internal reflection takes place. Due to this, empty test tubes also shines because of total internal reflection. And fifth one, rainbow. Spectacular display of colors. Colorful agbarattalva. Spectacular display of colors in the sky. This is formed due to two reasons. Rainbow is formed due to two reasons. So one is dispersion. You might have studied in your 10th standard, that is dispersion. When the light, white light or composite light passes through the any dispersive medium. So take a prism. When light incident on a prism, we are going to get a spectacular colors. That white light split into its constituent colors. That is we called as a dispersion. So due to dispersion, we are going to get a colors in the rainbow. And what is the purpose of this TIR? That rainbow shines. That rainbow shines due to total internal reflection. So there also, when the light enters the water particle and it is coming back, when it reaches the condition I is greater than IC, this rainbow shines. Shining of rainbow, that is due to total internal reflection. And a last application, that is optical fiber. Optical fibers, these are also works on the principle of total internal reflection. So this one you can expect for 2 marks. Mention any 2 applications of total internal reflection. Formation of mirage, brilliance of diamond, air bubble shines inside water or oil, empty test tube shines, rainbow is formed, shining of rainbow is due to total internal reflection. And optical fibers are also works on the principle of total internal reflection. So now let us discuss about what is an optical fiber. Now let us discuss about optical fiber. So optical fiber is a piece of glass. Is a piece of glass which transmits the light in any desired path. In any desired path. So this optical fiber is a piece of glass as piece of quartz. It can also be prepared by using quartz or piece of glass which transmit the light in any desired path. Which transmit the light in any desired path, and it mainly works on the principle of total internal reflection. So we are discussing about the applications of TIR. So this optical fiber also works on the principle of total internal reflection. So this is an optical fiber. So we call optical pipe. So that optical pipe consists of bundle of optical fibers. ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು optical fibers ಇರುತ್ತೆ, many in numbers, ಅದನ್ನ optical pipe ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So here this is an optical fiber in which it is a piece of glass. So here it consists of an outer cladding and inner core. So this outer cladding is coated with a material of lower refractive index like a plastic, and the inner core, this one inner core, is coated with a material of high refractive index. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೈ ರಿಫ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೆನ್ಸರ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ. when the light travels from denser to rarer only it gets total internal reflection. See, when the light enters at one side of the optical fiber, it suffers series of reflections and light is coming out. So here this light consists of a signal as that of the incident light. So incident light in the ಏನ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. That's why this optical fiber mainly used in telecommunication. So 2 mark ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1 mark ಅಲ್ಲಿ uses ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Mainly on which principle it works? Total internal reflection. What is optical fiber ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ is a piece of glass or piece of quartz and used to transmit the light in any desired curved path. And applications where these optical fibers are used in. So first application is it is used in telecommunication. So why it is used in telecommunication? Because it is a noise free. So already I said that. So here whenever the light enters at one side, the output light is same as that of the input light. So there is no noise, there is no disturbance. It is free from noise. ಯಾವುದೇ disturbance ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ optical fiber now mainly they are used in telecommunication. Nowadays we can say it is optical communication ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಫೋನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು ನೋಡಿ. ಮಳೆಗಾಲ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ವೈರ್ಗೆ ನೀರೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಫೋನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡೆಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ನಾವು ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನೋ ಚೇಂಜಸ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್. So it is also used in audio and video electronic signals to pass the audio and video electronic signals. They are used in this. And third one, they are also used in the decorative purpose, decorative bulbs, decorative table lamps. And this fourth application is these optical fibers, they are used in binoculars and in periscope. Next, fifth application is, so these optical fibers are used in endoscope. So endoscoping, we are familiar with endoscopic scanning machines. So these endoscopes are used to examine the internal parts of the human body, to view the pancreas, kidney, heart, lungs and human organs. So this is safer than the X-rays, because in this endoscope we are using the radio waves. They are much safer than the X-rays. That's why these optical fibers are also used in endoscope to examine the internal parts of the human body. So these are the applications of total internal reflection, applications of optical fibers. These optical fiber is also the application of total internal reflection. Optical fiber mainly works on the principle of total internal reflection. So these are the applications of optical fiber. Ready? 2 mark keltare. 1 mark on which principle optical fibers works, that is total internal reflection. Next, applications of optical fiber, they are free from noise, that's why they are using in telecommunication. Nowadays we call optical communication. They are used in audio and video electronic signal to transmit audio and video electronic signals. They are also used in decorative table lamps. Optical fibers are used in binoculars and periscope. And last example is, that is endoscope. There are many examples. Here I explained some of the optical fibers applications. They are used in endoscope to to view the internal parts of the human body. So next come to the 7th application of total internal reflection, that is a TRP. So TRP means total reflecting prisms. These total reflecting prisms mainly works on the principle of TIR, that is total internal reflection. Total internal reflection mele work agutte. So dear students, what is TRP? TRP means what? These total reflecting prisms are the isosceles right angle prisms. Isosceles prisms used to transmit the image. See, this is an object and this is an image. Used to transmit the image for 90 degree or for 180 degree. It is used to rotate the image for either 90 degree or for 180 degree. So that is the use of the total reflecting prism. So where we are using, use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So we are familiar with the MRI scanning. So that is magnetic resonance imaging. So there we have to rotate the image. Image rotate ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So there we can't rotate the object. So simply we can rotate the image either by 90 degree or by 180 degree by using this total reflecting prisms. See here, ಇಲ್ಲಿ upward direction ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ. So ಈಗಿರುವಂತ object ಹೀಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. So ಈ ತರ upward ಇರೋದು ಈ direction ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ angle between that is 90 degree. So ಈ ತರ incident ಆಗಿದೆ. So whatever the light incident here, that will totally reflected back. ಹೊರಗಡೆ totally ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So here the object is like this. It produces the image like this. Upward ಇದೆ. So downward ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it rotates the image for 180 degree. 180 degree ಗೆ rotate ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Here also same thing. So this is about total reflecting prism. Mainly works on the principle of this total internal reflection. This TRP is used to rotate the image for either 90 degree or for 180 degree. So these are the applications of total internal reflection. Okay, next let us discuss about the spherical surface. Next let us discuss about refraction through a spherical surface. So we are familiar with mirror. So in that mirror consists of two surfaces. In that one is a reflecting surface and another one is a non-reflecting surface. Quote ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. So here spherical surfaces, that both the surfaces are transparent. It is a part of a sphere. It is a part of a sphere. Both the surfaces are transparent. ನೋಡಿ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಆ ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Therefore we are having two spherical surface, concave spherical surface and convex spherical surface. So for this the definitions are same, that is the terms related to the spherical surface. This point we call as a pole, midpoint of the spherical surface, and this is an aperture where xy is an aperture and O is an object. The distance between pole to center of curvature is the radius of curvature. So all the definitions are same. So now let us discuss object distance and image distance. Object distance means, see here this arrow mark represents this is the direction of incident rays. Incident rays are going like this. Therefore object space are the region which consists of incident rays. After the refraction we are going to get the image. Therefore this space, whole space we call as an image space. Image space means which consists of refracted light rays. Object space means which consists of incident rays. Image space means which consists of refracted rays. So this is about the spherical surface. Now let us derive the relation between refractive index, object distance, image distance and radius of curvature. So this is the 5 mark question. We can expect an examination. 1 mark for diagram. See, let O be the object, XY is a spherical surface. See, so this is a convex lens. This is a convex lens. We considered first portion. So this is a convex spherical surface. Same thing we can derive for concave also. See, this is the concave lens. This is concave lens. If we consider first surface, this is a concave spherical surface. So now let us derive this equation for convex spherical surface. XY is the one portion of the convex spherical surface. O be the object, I be the image. This is the image. Image distance we have to measure from pole. Pole to image is image distance V. And R is the angle of incidence. I is the angle of incidence. R is the angle of refraction. So to measure angle of incidence and to measure angle of refraction, we need a reference line, that is we call normal. So that we have to draw. For spherical surface we have to draw from center of curvature. Normal yavaglu center of curvature inda draw madbeku. So center of curvature inda normal draw madidೀವಿ ನೋಡಿ. What is the need of this? To measure incident and to measure refraction, angle of refraction. Okay, this is about explanation of the figure. So next, by using mathematics, we know this Snell's law. Snell's law is equal to n1 sin I is equal to n2 sin I. This is a rarer medium of refractive index n1. This is a glass medium, that is a denser medium of refractive index n2. This is n1, this is n2. n1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ I ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ n1 sin I is equal to n2 sin I. This is Snell's law. And so actually there is no angles at the diagram. In the diagram ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, angles measure ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. But for to derive this relation we have to substitute angle alpha, angle beta, angle gamma at OCI. See, at O ನಲ್ಲಿ alpha ಇದೆ, at I ಅಲ್ಲಿ beta ಇದೆ, at C ನಲ್ಲಿ gamma ಇದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ angle measure ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಕಿಲ್ವಾ, that's why. Now, so this is one mathematical rule. In a triangle, exterior angle, triangle ನ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇರೋ exterior angle is equal to the sum of two opposite interior angles. ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇರೋದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಆಂಗಲ್. This is the sum of two opposite interior angles. Let us apply this for triangle OCL. See, this is O and this is C, this is N. So here we are having two opposite interior angles, that is alpha plus gamma, and the exterior angle is I. Therefore I is equal to alpha plus gamma. I is equal to alpha plus gamma. Okay, next from the triangle ICL. ICL. From this triangle, R and beta are the two interior angles. Those two are opposite. R and beta are the two interior angles. Gamma is exterior angle. So gamma is equal to R plus beta. To substitute here we want R. Therefore R is equal to gamma minus beta. One number kodana. Take it as equation 1. Take it as 2. Take it as 3. Substitute these two in equation 1. 2 ಮತ್ತೆ 3 ನ 1 ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಿ n1 I ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಗಾಮಾ, r n2 ಅಂತ r ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ r is equal to gamma minus beta. n1 into alpha, just remove the bracket, n1 into alpha plus n1 into gamma is equal to n2 into gamma minus n2 into beta. ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, n1 alpha, shift to right hand side. See here, n1 alpha ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇರೋ ಮೈನಸ್ n2 ಬೀಟಾನ ಈ ಕಡೆ ತಗೋಬರೋಣ. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲಸ್ n2 ಬೀಟಾ, ಸೊ ಆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಮೈನಸ್ n1 ಗಾಮಾ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಗಾಮಾ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಕಾಮನ್. ಸೊ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ 4 ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ 4. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ this n is very much closer to p. ಈ n ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಪರಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ, therefore it is very much closer to p. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ n ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ನಿಯರ್ಲಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು p ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ NOP, ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೈನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಬೈ ಅಡ್ಜಸೆಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ನ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ NOP, from the triangle NOP, tan alpha is equal to opposite, this is PN by adjacent is OP. Okay, and P is ಏನಂತ ಬರೀಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, P ನ ಏನಂತ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ನೀವು P ನ P ಅಂತಾನೆ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ from the another triangle, similarly find out the tan beta and tan gamma. Okay, Pn by Ip and tan gamma is Pn by Pc. Okay, next from equation 4, ಇದನ್ನ 4 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. equation 4, for this triangle substitute Pn by On and beta value and gamma value. After substituting this Pn ಕಾಮನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, LHS ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕಾಮನ್ ಇದೆ, RHS ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕಾಮನ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಕಾಮನ್ ತೆಗೆದು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಇದನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು n by On, n ನ p ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ತಾನೆ ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ n ನ p ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ p n2 by Ip is equal to n2 minus n1 by Pc. We are familiar with the sign convention as well as the how to measure the distance. So object to pole is object distance u. Pole to image is image distance v. Pole to center of curvature is r. Therefore, that equation 4 becomes n1 by u plus n2 by v is equal to n2 minus n1 by r. Sign convention ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂತದ್ದು ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂತದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್. ಇಮೇಜ್ ಈಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್. ರೇಡಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ ಈಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ by using sign convention, u is equal to minus u. U is equal to minus u. Therefore, equal to N2 minus N1 by R. Or simply we can write N2 by V, positive na first bariyana, minus N1 by U is equal to N2 minus N1 by R. So this is the relation between U, object distance U, image distance V, and radius of curvature R, and also refractive index N. So in this equation, this ratio N2 minus N1 by R, N2 minus N1 by R. So this ratio we called as a power of a spherical surface. What is power of a spherical surface? So that is, it is the ability of a surface which measures whether the light rays are converged or light rays are diverged. That quantity we called as a power of a spherical surface. So derivation neat agi barkondo neeve substitute madidre it will be easy, because mainly it depends on the mathematical steps. Okay, so this is enough for today class. Remaining we will continue in the next class. Okay, thank you.